Last time the Star Warrior Chronicles the Prophesied King. It's time for war, as Team Magnet has finally begun their attack against our heroes with this weird beast of theirs. After learning about Dripier's death, the group spends a little time mourning it. However, that's all time they can get as the attack begins shortly after. Though Cody, Terry, and Sierra handled the Magnet members on the ground as well enough, David chose to fight Pearson alone. Except he wasn't really alone, as Santa decided to follow along with him. The others soon caught up with them, and as they did, they learned that David was about to almost finish up Pearson for good. However, Pierce managed to talk his way out of it and finally unlock the power of the beast, which is what we are brought at today. Episode 27, Birth of a Dragon. Our heroes look head-to-head to the amalgamation that makes the beast Undragonel. He himself remains silent as he looked around his surroundings. Pearson gives a menacing laugh as he goes behind him for protection. Feast your eyes. This will be the last thing you will ever see. What do you say, my little pet? Yara's gone to defensive position cautiously as Undragonel gave a confused look back at Pearson. He looks towards the window near him with the same look. And that's when Undragonel lets his guard down as he recognizes something. What are you doing? Undragonel walks toward while touching his face.
Is this real?
He feels his face all over.
Am I real?
He looks down to his clothes without a clear answer. He begins to hyperventilate trustfully. What do you mean you are? Of course you are real. The dragon then felt the calm presence of Undragonel beside him. Don't panic, it's only going to get worse. Undragonel tried to calm down as he reciprocated the feeling. The others also walked over, yet they remained cautious.
It's like a baby born for the first time.
Or like, I don't know exactly. What are you? Undragonel continued to breathe heavily as this was happening. Perhaps it's best that we don't try to figure that out now. They didn't hurt Anto left behind them.
You guys are all too funny. What are you? Really? It's obvious who he is.
Undragonel looks over to see Anto walk to him studiously.
You know, you look just like... In a way, yes. I do look like you.
Anto pushes Dragonel out of the way comfortably.
We are not that much different either. You and I are born to more than what we are.
He looks down with sparkles.
Show me.
Of course we will, but first, look over to see Pearson escape through a broken window. David wasted no time to follow him. Oh, you ain't going anywhere, you metal piece of shit. The others soon follow except for Dragonel and Anto.
What are they doing?
Don't worry about it. We'll let them handle it. And Dragonel gave him a weird look.
You aren't going to hurt me, are you?
Dragonel looked at him the same. Of course not. We have no reason to.
In reality, you might find that you do more damage to yourself.
Anto holds out his hand with a delish grin.
Come with me and I'll tell you who you really are.
Think you can do that? You're not going to turn him, are you?
Turn me?
Anto looked back at him with the same grin.
What do you think?
Dragonel got into a fine stance. I'm not entirely sure if I can trust you. And Dragonel studied with even more confusion.
Why are you fighting him unless you are planning to...
He gasped as his fist closed up. Undragonel? Undragonel gave a powerful look. Meanwhile, Pearson was trying to find his way off the ship from the top of it. That is until he heard the voices shout behind him. Where do you think you're going? Pearson looks back to see Mikey, David, and Sword got into a stance menacingly. He stands there while thinking. Mikey and Sword themselves went to their states. We don't want any more of this fighting. It ends here and now. It would never end until I get my pay. He felt a blast hit from behind him, causing his head to fall off the chair. He looked to see Cody and Jet fly around them. He means it. Looking back to the group, they all got closer. It's over, Peterson. After thinking a little bit more, he then left with the sparks coming around him. I was hoping we didn't have to come to this, but when my backs are against the wall, I have no choice. His sparks grew bigger as he hit upon his half the airship. Take it to the ground with you. From a distance, Sierra was carrying Terry, who was almost awake. They saw Pearson's head fly down from the carrier.
They beat him, finally.
Terry was still coughing to get awake. At least one good thing came today. Look over to the other Magnet members run away from the city. Quickly, it's happening. Oh, why did it have to happen now?
It's not my turn to clean up the mess, that's all I know.
They both get confusing looks. This leads us back to the other group who were looking down from the carrier. He ain't surviving that. He'll be fine. Unless you're talking about his ego.
You were really hell-bent on killing him, weren't you?
They continue to look down at Pearson's location. I understand that in a time like this, killing him will bring nothing but more pain. But at the same time, he only brought this upon himself. Past sins have come due. They then see Undragonel get punched for something hard. He gets up while rubbing his head. Are you okay? Justin Anto comes out in a panicked state.
Things just went worse.
Undragonel flew from the hole angrily. He held his fist lit up in his rage.
No one will hurt me. Not a single one of you will.
They got into their own battle stance again. No, stop! He looked over to see me up slowly. Don't attack him. He's just scared. Undragonel growled fiercely before they heard a lightning bolt fly down to where Pearson was. It caused an explosion of smoke to appear. Once it cleared, they saw a giant gray dragon fly out to them with blue eyes. It grinned devilishly.
What the hell?
They then heard Anto fly away upon Anti-10.
Impeccable timing. Let's get out of here.
Leaving so soon, they then forces Masora and Mikey towards Cody's jet. I think we should do the same. As they're running, Undragonel is facing Undragonel. HR, fly away now! Undragonel took notice of the giant dragon behind him. He then took to the skies as Undragonel fired a beam from his hands. It missed as it scratches the dragon. It flew even higher in rage, and with the light coming from its stomach, it shot a large beam towards the carrier. As it flew our heroes away as Anto and Undragonel followed. Undragonel puts his hand out to absorb some of the beam as it forces the carrier down. With a blast, it lands on the city with the entirety of it. It glowed white as the others fend the shockwave from the air. As it goes away, they see a giant crater where the city was supposed to be. Shocked to see the dragon fly away to a different city.
Well, we're fucked. Might as well surrender to that giant thing. There's no need to be pessimistic. It couldn't get possibly worse.
Undragonel then looks down to see Undragonel stand there with a huge surge of energy. He survived that? They all look down to see for themselves.
You want to say it again? No, please. How else could it get worse?
Sora rolled her eyes after hearing that. Now it's not the time to argue. We need to figure out a way to defeat that dragon. Look over to see the thing continue to fly away. It's simple. Use your gun, Anto.
What gun?
You know, the one that's supposed to blow up a city. The one you throw at him so you can use to see his ability. Anto gave a nervous laugh.
Oh, that gun! You're gonna laugh. I was bluffing. That gun doesn't have that much power.
They did facepalm at hearing that. Why am I not surprised? So, what's the plan now? In case you forgot, it's heading straight towards Phoenix. They all thought as Undragonel was trying to catch up. HR, I think you can take care of that problem behind us. Looks back to see Undragonel was catching up. I suppose you can handle the other one. Be careful. He flies back to take him head on. Okay, let's try to find weakness, Cody. Cody looks over to investigate the beast. I got nothing. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. David stands in front while going to his beyond state. It's obvious. It's Pearson. They all give a shocked look.
So that's his ability? To transform into a dragon?
Transformer. The ability to transform into a more powerful beast. He somehow lucked down and gained the dragon form, but it's also bad luck because once you turn that thing, you can't control it.
Which explains why he refuses to use it.
May looks over to see Anto for assurance.
Pearson and that beast behind us are the bigger threats. We should worry more about them than each other.
Mikey then felt Sora confront him from behind.
You said it before, we need all the help we can get. Let's just try and find a weakness.
Meanwhile, Francisco was sitting in the shelter as the news was playing on nearby TV. He sat there in horror as he saw the broadcast. This just in. All of Scottsdale is gone. Fortunately, all the civilians are safely put in Phoenix. We're just informed that we're escorted away due to a battle taking place. We're now keeping a close eye on this giant dragon flying to the sky. It's right now being chased down by a weird group of individuals. We're hoping to find a way to put that beast down before it blows up anything else. Francisco tried to keep calm while watching it. This is terrible. Oh, what to do? He then hears a portal open with Seer helping the limping Terry through.
That was a close one.
Bargain quickly joined in to help out. What happened? Did you guys win? Sierra gave them an uncertain look.
I don't think so. In reality, I think the fight just has begun.
Francine gave her a worried look as she faced her.
Is David okay?
Sierra shrugged with that same look.
I would be more worried about everyone else.
Francisco comes over to check on Terry. Everything's getting worse for the second. We need to get out of here before that dragon blows this place up too.
Well, I would agree. Terry is losing strength by the second.
Francisco checked his pulse to make sure. He'll be fine, but you're right. Damn, not what? I tried to think it over as he went back to the fight. Undragonel stopped in front of his foe as he went for the fence. He tried to stop Undragonel as he continued to fly over. Hold this, let's talk! He didn't listen as he sent Undragonel away with one punch, separating the clouds in the process. Dragon recovered, but the statement has been made.
I will not let you or anyone else hurt me. You're all just liars who want nothing but pain and misery.
That's not true. We just didn't know what to do. If you give us a chance, he felt another punch to the gut. It wasn't as hard, but it did sting for a little bit.
How many more lies are you going to spill?
Undragonel grabbed his arm and threw him aside. I don't want to fight you. Undragonel went in for another attack. But if you insist, then I have no choice. Undragonel went in for another attack, but he stopped as Undragonel gave the look of Drapier. He stopped as Undragonel punched him hard away.
How weak.
He looks back at his hands.
Maybe this is what I'm destined to do.
He gives a weird smirk while looking back at him.
Oh, it's meant to hurt people, so I will.
He roars as echoes across the sky. Dragon recovered after hearing that. He shakes his head while worrying it. Stop it. He's dead. You can't let yourself fail because you're hung up on him. He clenches his fist in a rage. What kind of king are you if you are crying over a peasant? He then stops himself after hearing that. No. Drippy was not a peasant. He was my friend. He shakes his head again. Urgh. Focus! Focus! Looks another attack. He feels another attack from Undragonel.
So satisfying. This truly is what I'm meant to do.
He laughs while giving a barrage of punches to his foe. He then grabs his head while giving a shock through it. It shocks away some of Dragonel's energy while throwing him to the ground.
This feels so good. I want more! More!
He roars again as Dragonel falls to the ground, defeated. Meanwhile, the group was still trying to find a way through the powerful dragon. They caught up as the dragon noticed. Shit, he sees us. That's good. We need to make sure he's after us more than anyone else. Mighty looks over to everyone else. Though, if you want, save it. I made a promise to put an end to this thing, and I will keep it. We're here to win this. No need to leave now.
Plus, there's no way we can defeat this guy by ourselves. I'm just here to take this asshole out. Ending him before he ends me.
Mighty looked at him with uncertainty, but he laughed it away as he looked at the dragon. I suppose there's no talking out of this. Fine, let's put an end to this giant hunk of metal. They all nodded as the dragon prepared an attack. David summons Phoenix along with Mikey using his beam to attack him as they stand confidently on the top of the jet wing. It makes the dragon recoil, but it kept its attack charging. It did something at least. Nento brings out his best gun to try and beat him. It did nothing as well to stop the charging.
Any more bright ideas?
The all gave nervous looks as it launched its giant beam. Sora fired her own, and as both collided, a giant red veil appeared that pushed the attack to the sky. Yellow would thaw, with Sora fueling some of the attack. Nice. Keep that veil up as long as you can. She kneels over in pain. Unless if you don't, she gets up a little more confident.
It's fine. Now find a way to attack him.
They all looked overwhelmed thinking as they hid behind the veil. Meanwhile, the other Magnet members looked as they saw Pearson bow to the others. Joe and Adriana were exhausted as they see it.
Remember the last time he used it?
I'd rather not. We spent hours trying to clean up this mess. Isn't that right, Darknut? Jill looked to see Darknut stares at it sternly. He vowed to never use it again unless his back's against the wall. He clenches his fist while staring. And after all this time, he forgot what the consequences were. Boss, why? This then brings us back over to Dragonel, who was still laying on the ground in pain. He kept thinking to himself as he stared in the sky. Why am I so confused? He slams his fist on the ground in rage. God damn it, what is wrong with me? I was getting better! He growls in annoyance as he hears a voice. Any better, huh? He looks up to see nothing. He then looks around to see more of nothing. Don't bother looking. I'm not here. Well, where? Drapier laughs at hearing that. Obviously not here. In fact, I don't know where I am. But that doesn't matter now. Dragonel then looks to see Undragonel stares down at him. How are you holding up? Dragonel after hearing that. How do you think I'm holding up? I'm letting myself get too emotional at a time like this. I need to be helping others, not what? Crying? Looks back to his fist. What's a king like you gonna do? Looks back up while holding his tears. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Jupiter laughs again. You're asking a non-Queen King this question. The Star Council may actually be doomed after all. Dragonel seemed disappointed to hear that. That is, if you don't realize that it's okay. How is any of this okay? It's okay to be soft. You can cry and get emotional like anyone else. Look at me. I'm supposed to be a tough and gritty bounty hunter. Yet I still feel upset. Dragonel lets him out. You might be a king, but you're still a teenager. You don't feel like you need to be above people the same way you don't need to feel below. Now, as much as I like seeing you cry over me, Dragonel charges up while hearing that. I think you're better off taking that rage and staying more deserving of it. Dragonel nods as he went into his beyond state. Wipes away some of his tears, he looks up strongly at Dragonel.
He still has more to give? Good.
He gave a devilish smirk and I've seen that.
The more you have, the more I want.
He bolts down with his arms out.
Give it to me! Give me all of it!
Dragonel then felt the fast punch of Dragonel knock him away. You will get nothing unless you calm down. I don't want to hurt you, but... He sees an illusion of Drapier beside him nodding confidence. I'm not gonna let you hurt my friends or I either. You wanna fight? You got one! Dragonel punched him back away fiercely. Dragonel laughed as he recovered.
Yes, every last bit. That's exactly what I want.
They clash fists as thunder cracks beside them. Now the crew was keeping pace with the dragon. David, Mike, and Antil fired all their attacks at it as Sora failed to reflect one after another. Holding in there, Sora? She gave a quick cough at hearing that.
As well as I can at the very least, though if you can defeat it at any point, feel free to do so. We would if we know any other weak points.
Antil then glared at Cody.
However, Bird Brain over here has told us nothing yet.
I don't know what you expect me to say. I find abilities, not weak points of giant dragons. David launched his fire arrow as he was thinking of something. I think the best we can do is just... Think sort of before speaking again. No, maybe that's not it. What we're need to do is... Thinks it over again before sighing. Grr, damn you, Pearson. Why must you always be the bane of my existence? He angrily stares at him. Maggie thinks it over himself. To think, all this time he was holding this much power. Just like Darky. Maggie thinks it over as he stares at Sora. Sora, try to put that beam right back at him. Sora nods and they're standing. As she focused some of the veil to form a shield that folded towards the dragon. It fired the beam and it bounced back to the dragon hard. The explosion engulfed the dragon as the others cheered success. If only it was that simple. The smoke cleared to show the dragon wasn't even phased.
Are you kidding me? What kills this thing?
Mikey was looking confused as well as the dragon showed little signs of damage. This isn't good. He thinks over as Sora is beginning to fall down with exhaustion. Clint goes over to help her before she falls over. Sora, speak to me. She breathes hardly as Maie looks back over to the dragon. David, Cody, get it out of here now. David stares back at Mikey disappointed. Or what? We'll die standing here? Maie stares back at him angrily. You said yourself. You don't want any more deaths happening today. So of course we should leave it so that doesn't happen. But... He looks back at him fiercely. If we die today, we die helping for a cause. For the people. Isn't that what a king like you should do? David stares back at Pearson. We knew the risk. That's how it always was before and now. I understand you didn't comprehend it before, but now that we do know, it shouldn't change anything. We fight together for that cause, and no matter what you say, we will continue to help. David holds out his flame to summon his phoenix. Speaking of helping, Pierce needs to fall for his crimes. My dad didn't die, nor is to quit now. David launches Phoenix straight towards the dragon. Mikey, tell me you understand. Maya thinks it over as the Phoenix flies into the mouth of the dragon. It bursts inside to have the dragon stumble in the air.
I see. Inside of him. Attacking the organ within should have been obvious from the start.
Maya sees the dragon falter as he gets up with his sword in hand. We will take this down, I promise you that. He then uses the sword when he gets closer over and over again. Clever. We have a moment to lose. Get me closer, bird. Cody nods as he flies a jet closer.
Okay, let's put an end to this pathetic salamander.
He flies closer as well as they all prepared for an attack. The dragon tried to keep up with all of them, but it was too much for the dragon to pay attention to. Maya goes in closer to his sword beam his stomach hard. Until fires his gun to the stomach to have his mouth completely open. That's when the jet of Cody's drew closer to the mouth with the arrow. Can you feel it, Pearson? And my heart burns with passion, my family. The phoenix came over to give its power to the flame arrow. My father taught me this attack for my last birthday with me. The same one you threw in our bus. And it's not just my power that's put into this attack, it's what I'm getting at. If you can understand it, though I doubt it since this is what you are now. He launches the arrow straight into the mouth as he goes inside the dragon. There's no saying I heard about. Your ability tells you who you are. Well, I'm not sure how true it is. I can say that this ability of yours describes you perfectly, as does mine. So feel it! All 100,000 degrees of heat! Incinerate! The fire bursts into the belly, giving out one last explosion. Maya goes with the wing of the jet, exhausted as Anto backs away to take cover from the attack. David stares at it sternly as the smoke clears away. The beast was no more as Pearson's unconscious head flew back to the surface. The chair he was seen at the bottom catching him before it landed. It's over. David sits down while letting go of his own beyond state to rest. I did it, Dad. I finished it. Anto flies over to investigate.
Don't get too comfortable yet. That's only the first guy. What about him?
Anto points over at Undragonel and Undragonel fighting each other. I don't know if I have any more left in me. What do you say, Mikey? Dave looks over to Mikey, letting go of his own beyond state. He rolls over while looking at his sword. He gives more luck as it has the fourth hole glows in the color of blue. I completed the fourth? David gave an odd look as well. Anton looks over to see Undragonel continue to clash with his foe. Undragonel himself notices the crew being Pearson. He's defeated. You have nothing left to worry about. Undragonel looks to see that.
So his weakness will only feed the power of my hungry hands. Soon after I defeat you.
Undragonel sends more punches to try not to dragon off his guard. But Undragonel absorbs his hits nicely without too much problems. His weakness has nothing to do with you. Neither does mine. Maybe one day you'll understand what I truly mean. Undragonel sends him flying back to the surface with a hard push.
Understand, I already do. I don't know if you really do. Doesn't matter to me either way. More and more I begin to understand my true purpose. My true desire.
Tosses Undragonel onto the ground hard.
I understand what it's like to be me, and I will not put an end to it after I'm done.
He laughs hauntingly again with Undragonel punching him back. This is only getting worse. Undragonel punches him again and again to keep on the back foot. I'm sorry for what I have to do.
You will do nothing!
Undragonel uppercuts him to the air, but all that did was make Undragonel power up even further. A vision trooper sits beside him. This is what a king is, doing right for the people. He goes in for an attack. Over himself! Undragonel tried to match back with his own punch, but Undragonel managed to overpower him. With a huge hit, he sends Undragonel to the ground quickly as it causes another hole to spawn. Undragonel sees it with a somber look. He then looks back to the sky. Did you see it? I hope you say yes once I meet you there. He then sees the jet fly back over to them. Undragonel! He looks over to see Mikey and the others approach him. They all look at him concernedly. All he did was smile and let down his beyond state. It's okay, guys. Anto flies over with his arms crossed.
How can we be sure? For all we know, he could be racing back up here.
Then let's go check. They do so as they land back onto the ground. As they go over to the hole where Undragonel was, they see he was gone. Did you obliterate him? They all look nervously as they heard a faint roar in the sky. They look up to see Undragonel fly away slowly in pain. He sees them while looking back fiercely.
You will pay for what you did to me, Dragonel. I won't forget your name. You hear me?
He points at him fiercely.
You will pay!
He flies away quickly with a faint roar.
Yummy.
Is he serious? David looks over to see Undragonel, who looked at the sky somberly again. Who can say? But that doesn't look good for us now. He then sees the entire group. We need to recover. Suffice to say that was a real close call. Anto laughed as he heard that.
Close call, really? We beat him with relative ease.
David stares back at him sternly again. I'm not lying when I say that when I sent Phoenix into Pearson, it was a huge shot in the dark because nothing else seemed to be working at the time. If I hadn't figured that out, we would have been toast. Anto shrugs as he goes back to Anti-10.
Whatever, it's not like we won at the end anyway.
He then stares back at them.
And you know what? You guys might not be too bad after all. Maybe I might have a shred of regret when I pick up that bounty for myself.
They all give an annoyed look as Anto laughed. Nothing changes you, does it? Anto shrugs while winking.
In your small mind, I guess not. But for the sake of all our efforts, I'll leave now. But I will get that bounty, make no mistake. Just like how the Undragonel guy said. We are destined to do these things in due time. That is. Later, losers!
He swoops off as he flies away. As he does, Dragonel decides to take charge of the conversation. With that being said, we should probably rest up. They all nodded with some relief. A few weeks had passed since the incident. It was a day on Cursed Island as Dragonel was seen back at the graveyard. He was looking at one grave in particular that caught his eye. It was bigger than the others and was made in gold. Hey, Dad, it's been a while since we last talked. He laughed awkwardly as he sat in front of it. I've seemed to have forgotten over the years what a king really was meant to be. What you really were, but... He shakes his head. That doesn't really mean much as he already knew what he was going to say. I seem to forgot that you were wrong. Yet, I don't take it the wrong way. I don't hate you for it. In fact, I came to thank you for it. He rose the back of his head while laughing. The thing is, I know you were misled. I know what those people did to us, and the thing is, I haven't them change that style for good. He gets up with excitement. You just see it now. It's getting more and more like the days of the first Dragonel. That's what the advisor said, at least. He then faces the grave sorrowfully. If only I can see me now. He then looks to the side to see Drapier's grave there. Same to you, Drapier. He walks over to face it. You don't know how much I owe you for helping me to see that. I know you weren't the only one, but you really helped me through some of my toughest moments. He then lets some tears. Michael and I will make the star counts more than what it is. We will restore for the sake of the people rather than for us. That's how it should have been. We will accomplish that. You'll see. He didn't make us fly away, but he gives a look back to the graves. Thank you. I'm not sure how much more I can show it. Till we meet again, may the stars shine upon you. He flies away sternly. We now go back to the others who were helping clean up the mess left behind Team Magnet. In fact, a lot of people were there to help. Kelby is helping Terry and Sierra push dirt away from the crater. He had the jet carry some of it as they helped. I don't see how any of this helps. Fury's reflection showed a nearby puddle. We are heroes. We are heroes now. We need to be there for our people, right? He sees a few civilians waving at him. He waved back with a half-hearted smile. Yeah, depends definition of hero. But I was referring to carrying this dirt. Shouldn't we instead try to build on top of it? He then hears Cody laugh in front of him. I told you that you need a build like that. Sure, it makes less work for us, but what about the people living here? Imagine the landfalls with this big of a crater. Think logically, rookie. Terry gave him a laugh. You're calling me a rookie? Cody puts his arm around him with a sly smirk. You see, my young Padawan, you have ways to go in order to be the top hero such as myself. Continue to learn on me to learn to become great. Terry gave him a snarky laugh. Whatever you say, dumbass. Sierra gave her own giggle after passing by.
You two make a weird pairing.
Might as well get used to the family, seeing how you might be my brother-in-law. Sierra gave him back that annoyed look as she walked away. Cody then smirks back at Terry. Give it time, she'll come around, says the top hero. Meanwhile, David, Mikey, and Sora were shoveling some of their dirt as they tried to even out the crater. Who would have thought one beam from that thing would have done all of this? Sora gives a laugh as she shovels away.
The same people who thought to give us abilities, but that does beg the question. Are we capable of that?
Possibly. Though I wouldn't be on it. Besides, why would you want to be that ultra powerful? Sure, strong to be Darky, but why go for all of that strength? To feel superior? Sometimes it's nice to be with you're at. May I give him an odd look? Does that include where you're at? They roll his eyes at hearing that. You just love questioning everything I say. Well, maybe be more specific. He laughs as Dave continues to roll his eyes. Whatever, I know what I meant. He looks over to see Francisco come with a letter. David, I don't need to intrude. He sticks his shovel into the ground. Let me guess, another love letter? Francisco gives a laugh. Right on the money, though it might have more than you realize. David takes it to read. As he reads, Dragonel flies back down the notebook in his hand. Oh, Your Majesty. You can call me HR. Right. Is that the notebook I gave you? Dragonel nods and he hands it over. I don't think I'll be needed anymore. Francisco takes it confused. What do you mean? Dragonel looks over to see one of the unattended shovels. If you excuse me, I need to help out. I'll tell you if I need it again. Dragonel walks over to the shovel as he gets to work. Maya gives him a confident look. Good to see you back. Dragonel looks back at him with the same look. I'm just getting started. Before I begin, I want us to say thank you to you as well. Maggie nods in understanding yet surprised. For what? For helping me learn. Maya shakes his head. I was just learning along with you. He looks back to his sword. There's still so much I don't know. And I don't know if I'll be ready when the time comes. Dragonel holds his hand out. Then let me help you keep your promise. We can learn together. For both of our people. Maya looks at it with a smile. He grabs it confidently. You got it, man. Together. We are now taken to a faraway base in Arizona. It was a small lab with mad members in it. Pearson himself was looking through a window in defeat. Dark Knight entered the door behind him while looking at Pearson concerned. Sir, how are you doing? Pearson looks back at him, still defeated. Tell me, Dark Knight, is this worth it? Pearson turned to him as he fell silent. Did anything ever did seem worth it to you? Dark Knight shut over his words. I don't know how to answer. Pearson shakes his head as he looks back at the window. This curse I have is something people always frown upon. He shakes one of his claws. You and I get things on my tongue. It leads to failure. Dark Knight gave him an odd look. What kind of boss am I that always loses? We lost everything for 2 fights. 2. So let me ask you again. Did anything we do seem worth it? Dark Knight refused to answer once more as he gave him a deadly glare. If you put it like that, then absolutely not. You cost us everything to get us here, and for what? To lose our home and any shred of dignity we had left? Dark Knight walks up to him flinchingly. All I know is I chose to follow you, and if you don't think I was worth it, then I don't either. Pearson glares back at him as well. I didn't ask you how you think I feel. I asked for your opinion. He slits his hands his claws on the floor. Of course I think it's no longer worth it. Why wouldn't I? Dark Knight stares back angered. Yet we are in too deep to leave. Get the others. We'll get that bounty if it's the last thing I do. Personally, I think we should give up. Pearson stares out the window. I think about it, but I'll stand by what I said. So do it. Dark Knight just leaves with Pearson staring at the sunset.